So far, we took down the gas tank. This is all done and completed. Here's all the parts. Well, a couple hiccups. Forgot to take this bad boy off. So this fill tank. So it was mid detachment when I had to realize, or when I realized that. So yeah, other than that, here we go. So this is the frame. Now we just need to do the front and the cab, and this thing will be good to go. I think I'm going to do that tomorrow. I'm going to make sure that the gas is good to go and not getting crap in the tank. And yeah, but it should be golden now. Man, this is crazy seeing this. Okay, so I'm going to make a cardboard mock-up of the front subframe mounting spots, whatever. I'm not really concerned with the back, because that's easy. It makes some cross members, if anything, right? Like, not a big deal. The front, though, getting it to fit around the engine and front to back and side to side and all of that, I think I missed the front driver's side mount. I believe is literally going to sit right on this box. So something is going to have to be done. So I'm going to make a mock-up of this cardboard of the subframe mounting area and see approximation of where it'll sit on here. Hoping that it'll work a little bit better than what I'm actually measuring here. Hopefully I'm off. It is like almost 11 o'clock tonight, but my mind's been racing. I can't sleep. I'm excited. Want to get this thing figured out. Making plans with some friends to come help, all that stuff. So I think in the next week to week and a half, I think this will be done. At least body onto this mounted and ready to like make the steering column and the brakes work. I think by September this will be running. Cross fingers. Okay, so Phil and I have a casualty taking off this cab, but it's only one thing, and it's relatively minor. It could be worse. Valve cover bolt. So, it's just right here, this bad boy. So, just got to get that out of there now. Hopefully it's not too difficult, but get that out and then be all right. Just so you know, though, There isn't even one on this side, on this one. So I think it'll be okay for a minute. At least to get it running and whatnot. We'll just have a nice oil leak out of there.
I know what the problem is.
Yeah, I know what the problem is.
Ain't no gas in it.
Alrighty, folks. Now that we got everything dismantled from here and everything dismantled from here, it is time to start measuring all these body mount, frame mount spots. See where they line up on this to make sure that it can fit, and when we place it on there, we know generally where it'll be. We just gotta make sure that it's actually there. So what I did was I measured from this point right here, that higher section, put a level across where the frame, the subframe mounted, put a level across there, make sure it was even. It's about 6.5 inches between that and the post where it's going to mount. So what I did was came over here, put the level on here on the frame, or like on the transmission, and measured out about 6 inches up to see how far up on this bell housing we could go. So we could go all the way to the T, basically right where this is marked, which is a good reference point. So that's about where I could go. And the frame is actually going to mount about 2.5 inches off of the frame, right here. So my thought is that if I took these off and put them on the inside, then I could just use that. If they're too large, I haven't measured or anything yet, but if they're too large, then obviously I can just make some mounts. The issue is it's going to have to be kind of a different shape, or I'm going to have to figure out how to like weld it to this and have it wrap on this so it's more of like an L bracket, or maybe even part of a full-on C channel, and then have a bracket that sticks out. That way it's wrapped more into the frame and can get to where it needs to be. But that's my idea so far. That's the only measurement I've taken so far, but now I got to figure out, okay, here, how much space do I have from this point to this distributor? And from those subframe mounts forward, how far back do I actually need to push that thing and wrap that in to how far back the wheelbase is. So there's a lot of parts, obviously, that go into this. Got to measure the wheelbase to that firewall section, and then on this from the front of the tire where that's going to be articulating all the way to this point. So that's the next step, is figure out exactly where to put that center piece to make sure we can cover that with the engine bay and the hood and everything. So let's get after this thing. All right, guys, so I'm eating some pizza. Might have an issue here. Let me show you. Okay, so if I put the firewall right up against this as close as I can, right? Come back 6 to 7 inches, that's where the subframe mounts will be, which is approximately right here. Give or take like a ½ inch, but approximately right here. It'll clear all of this stuff, no problem, which is really, really exciting. The issue is from here, which is essentially right here where the subframe mount is, right? So from that point back that way, measuring this pinch weld, okay? So from this pinch weld to that pinch weld is 84 inches. So even if we put the pinch weld right here, although it's technically like here, 84 inches goes all the way to here. That's just the pinch weld. The pinch weld goes right here, which if you notice, the end of the pinch weld is the beginning of the wheel well. So the beginning of the wheel well is over, like almost to the hub. It's only like 7 or 8 inches from the hub. So I might have to cut and extend this frame. So if I have to cut and extend this frame, definitely gonna need to recruit some help because I've never done that before. I don't even know. I mean, I've watched it done on YouTube where I basically watch all my stuff, but yeah, about that. I, for one, don't know how to weld that well. Not that good at it. On top of that, we're talking a frame here. I don't know the exact process. I don't know exactly what to do. So it's possible, maybe, to try to set it on here. And depending on how high the body is, may not matter that much. But the other issue, this is the other issue. Coming back all the way back here for the rear part of the frame. The rear part of the frame is 76 inches from the end of this board right here, which 76 inches from that, so 76 inches from the end of this board is all the way out here. So we're talking like 13 inches or so from the end of the frame, which means that this is going to stick out. Basically, the frame ends like right in here, and this will be overhanging off the frame, which to me is not that big of a deal. I don't mind if it hangs off the end of the frame a little bit because, I mean, it is a subframe, right? So it's gonna be, I mean, if it hangs off, it hangs off, whatever. The issue is because of where the tires are, it would look, in my opinion, it would look goofy as hell. So I might be cutting this frame. I'm gonna sleep on it a little bit, figure it out. We'll chat with you in a little bit. All right, guys. So right now what I got going on, remove the gas tank. Real simple, bam, bam. Everything else is getting ready. I got the steel, I got the braces, and I think I'm gonna cut right here because this section is the spot that the frame or the subframe of the Ridgeline is gonna be on. So need this to be longer. Need this flat section to be a little bit longer. That way there's more spaces, more frame for that to rest on when mounting. Because obviously I'm gonna have to build brackets and stuff, but I would like to put some extra braces in the middle because why not? But it'll be resting on here, and then be able to tack in some maybe tack weld some braces on there, or weld some braces on there, I should say, stitch weld, whatever that's called. But something I found, you always want to check your stuff, especially your fuel system stuff. Check this out. So remove that, right? Plugged it real quick. But this right here, I don't know if you can see that, but that's there's a leak coming out of here. Yeah. Not very tight on there. So check your fuel system, especially if you buy it from somebody. Luckily, it wasn't that bad, but I mean, that is kind of next to an exhaust pipe there. So good thing I saw that, because I need to replace that piece. That filter, definitely. All right, I just spoke with Dwayne, my buddy that's going to be helping me extend the frame. We're going to be extending it right here. So I got a couple things to prep on this. I will be taking off these rivets, punching these mounts out. We're actually probably going to reuse these mounts. Either, actually, I think it's on the front. On this front mount, we're going to see if we can weld it, see if it'll line up right here for the rear front subframe mount. See if we can put it right there. Just put a bolt right through it. I mean, that would be ideal if that works. So I'm going to be grinding these rivets off, taking those mounts out. We're taking this drive shaft off and tomorrow, and then I'll be grinding all of this area, basically from here all the way to here. Excuse me. Basically from the bend to here, because we're going to be making our cut basically like so, and then we're going to be doing a fish plate around it, a diamond shaped fish plate around the whole thing. But we're debating maybe we should put a Chevy symbol right here. Maybe that would be pretty dope. We're gonna cut it, and we're gonna end up cutting it right here because, for one, this is where the frame will sit. Okay, so the subframe of the Ridgeline is gonna sit right here, and so it'll extend this by another foot or so, a little bit more space for more real estate for this subframe to actually be resting on, which is always nice. We're also gonna be reusing this, I believe, for the front mounts. I think we're going to try to do that. But anyways, so we'll have more real estate there. But also another reason to cut it right here is because this cross member will come in clutch for keeping the frame square and stable. So we won't have to actually weld all the beams across and such because we got this cross member. We might end up just tacking one, maybe at an angle or something, I don't know, but this should be sufficient to hold this side of the frame. So then we'll have a couple bars going across, one on the top and bottom, and then one going across this way on the top and bottom, making kind of like an X shape from the top point of view. That way it doesn't twist and bend and do all that crap right here. So then we'll extend it, put in the 10 or 12 inch piece. Once we get it measured, we'll figure out exactly what we want. And then that's basically it. So tomorrow we'll get this all done. It's been sitting like this for a couple days now. But I also got my body lift in, or body spacers, right? For that lower part in the frame. I got some hockey pucks. Amazon came in clutch. But anyways, talk to you on the next one.
Move that out of the way, that's just sit right on the thing. Good.